Did you go to Osaka Expo? I did go to Osaka Expo. I helped with the UK pavilion. They had a Wales Day, and I did the video that kind of introduced people to the Wales Day. So if you went on the 29th of April, it was Wales Day, you would have seen my face in the booth and stuff explaining Wales, you know, that kind of stuff. So it was really cool. So I went over there. It was cool. I got to meet the UK ambassador, chat with a bunch of people. It was really nice. I did go around Osaka Expo, and I gotta say, it was mid as fuck. It was kind of cheeks overall, though. Not to be a hater of sorts, but I was kind of very unimpressed. I rocked up at when did I rock up? Like 2 p.m. on the day that I had. So I didn't have to, you know, obviously streamer privilege. I didn't have to get a ticket the normal way and stuff like that. So I just rocked up and I was like, yeah, I'll just go into some booths and shit. Because the way that it works, it's like the World Fair. I'd never been to one or given any of these before, so I didn't know anything about it. But basically, like, each, basically a country has their own pavilion, and basically you can just go in and they'll just tell you about their country and what they're doing. And I didn't know you had to, like, reserve all these booths, but I also didn't really want to go to any particular booth. So every booth I, like, went to go to, there was, like, an hour-and-a-half line. And I was like, dude, this blows. I don't want to line up an hour and a half to go into a booth. This sounds awful. So I was kind of like walking around. I was like, oh, there's got to be one booth that has like no line. And so I went to this booth and I was like, this booth's got no line. What country is it? I'm like, oh, it's Lithuania and Latvia. I was like, that sounds fun. There's like 2 people in line. I was like, okay, cool. So I got in line, and then as I was lining up, me and the other person, the Latvian guy who worked at the booth. So the Latvia and Lithuania booth, it was the Baltic booth, right? And so the Latvian guy was like, oh shit. And I was like, what's up, man? It's like, Connor? I was like, yeah, man. And then he's freaking out, and then this other girl's like, what's going on? And he goes like, dude, this is a VIP. I was like, oh, thanks, man. That's so kind. And then he like, so it was so cute. There was one person in front of me. He undid the side like rail and was like, nah, you can't line up. Come on in. And I was like, dude, there's one person in front of me. So he was like, let me give you a VIP tour. So we go around the Latvian booth, Lithuanian Latvian booth, and the first thing he goes, yeah, this is the Balklands booth. Estonia didn't want to be a part of it. They didn't want to spend the money. I was like, damn, Mudan. Shit, Mudan. Ooh. So, and then he started going around, and this is not his accent, by the way, at all, but I'm just going to do a random Eastern European accent. And like, so we walk in, and there's just like a bunch of plants. He goes, these are all the leaves from Latvia. He has like a flawless English accent, by the way. He sounds more British than me. He's like, these are all the leaves from Latvia. We have over 300 leaves from Latvia and Lithuania. Like, that's, I mean, it actually looked really cool. And so he's showing the booth. You know, it's fine. It's just, you know, a lot of like, kind of like leaves. And he goes, this is the meditation wall. It's like a wall that's like a plastic sheet that's being humidified, so you can kind of like write things in it, and then it'll refresh. It was cute. And they had like a place to chill. He goes, you know, all the other booths, they have no place to chill. In Latvia, we have place to chill. And then we go over. And then we go into this booth, and he's like, our famous mascot is Mushroom. You know Mushroom? He just, I'm sorry, he's probably laughing his ass off if he ever watches this. I'm so sorry. He literally had a flawless English accent. I'm just doing it to make it sound more Eastern European. Because apparently in Latvia and Lithuania, their symbol, they got like so many mushrooms, apparently. And then he's like, yeah, it's, you know, we have this festival where over 100,000 Latvians dance in the street. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he showed me, and I was like, that's actually pretty cool. He showed me a video. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of crazy. And then he was like, you must try Latvian drink. This is not what I feel so bad. I'm giving him I'm sure to commit to it. You want to try Latvian drink? I was like, yeah, man, I'd love to. That sounds sick. So he gives me, this machine is all sold out. He's like, no, we'll fix. And then this guy comes over, puts this thing, and it's like tree sap that's like kind of sweet with water. It was really, really nice. He gave me like 2 cans of it, and it was really, really good. I don't know what it's called. Maybe there's some Latvia enjoyers in the chat right now. who can tell me what the drink is, but it's some kind of Latvian, Lithuanian drink that comes from the sap of a tree. But yeah, it was very nice. Birch sap? Yeah, I think it might have been birch sap. It was really nice, really refreshing. And then I was like, you know what? I think it'll be more fun if I can just see how far my clout can get me in this place. Because I don't want to line up for any of these booths, because if not, I'm just going to go to the Czech... the Czech booth, because the Czech booth is just a bar. And they were selling Czech Pilsner, and I was like, well, I'll just go and chill. It was such a beautiful day, and it was 2 days after the cyclothon, and so I would much rather just sit outside in the beautiful, like, summer weather and, like, walk around with a beer. Like, I think that would be way more fun, and I could chill. So I was like, instead, I'll try and use my streamer privilege. So the moment I walked out of, by the way, Czech booth based, they also the Czech guy recognized me. He was really sweet as well. Thank you so much, and thank you for having a bar based. So I walk out of the Lithuania booth, and then these two people go, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, oh, "Okay." And then it wasn't at me. No, I'm kidding. No, they were like, "Connor," and I was like, "Yeah." And so I realized that like everyone who recognized me worked at a different booth. It was amazing. It was so good. This was like the ultimate. I wish this happened in theme parks. So, it did happen in a theme park. So, these two German people are like, yeah, we work at the German booth. I was like, oh man, can I get a tour? I'm just asking at this point. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And they're like, wait, right now? I was like, yeah, why not? And they're like, we're kind of busy. I was like, German booth 0. So I walked like for 5 more minutes. I was just looking around, because I also was trying to see if there were any booths that were just small. And then a guy from the Canadian booth came up and was like, hey man, if you want to come in the Canadian booth, let me know. And I was like, fuck yeah. And he gave me a little maple leaf. And at that point, I was really far away from the Canadian booth, so I was like, I'm good. I don't want to walk that far. And then, which other booth? I didn't get recognized by many people. It was one of the booths. Which one was it? It wasn't America. Although somebody did invite me to the America one, privately. But I heard the America one was just like, fuck yeah, we're the greatest. So, you know, offended. Damn, you hate Canadians? No, that was nice. The Australian booth was great. Mainly because outside of the booth, they had live music and they had like a barista going crazy. The Italian booth blows. Their food was so ass. I went to the Italian booth thinking I would get some good food. It was so bad and so overpriced. I paid so much money. It was like 2,000 yen for the shittiest pizza slice of my life. And I also got a like a panini kind of thing, and it was terrible. It was fucking, oh my god. It was awful. And I wanted to go in the Scandinavian booth, but they weren't accepting non-reservations at that time, so I couldn't walk in. And I was just kind of hoping that someone from Scandinavia would rock up and be like, yo, what's up? But no one did. So then I had about 30 minutes to kill after going in, like, I went in the Latvia booth. I went in the... It was okay. I walked around the giant wood structure. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's pretty cool. And then I just sat outside the Czech booth and drank beer while the staff were like, yo, Connor, what's up? And I was like, this beer's fire. So they have this giant wooden thing around the structure, and it looks like this. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. They have this giant wooden structure that you can walk around, like under. It's kind of cool, but you can also walk on top of it, and the view is really, really nice, because you get like a view of the, like, kind of like the bay in Osaka. It's really cool. Problem is, I think they're demolishing it in like really soon. I don't think it's lasting long. It seems like a colossal, like, you didn't climb it? I did, yeah. I climbed up it and walked around it. It's really nice. They are this autumn. Typical Expo thing. Isn't that sad though? Like the amount of money spent on it, and then like this cool ass giant wooden structure, and it's gonna be demolished? What? Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we go. The Grand Ring, this iconic 2-kilometer long wooden structure known as the world's largest wooden architectural structure, was initially intended for full dismantling post-Expo. However, proposals have emerged to preserve sections of it. So, okay, so we'll see. But most of the pavilions get destroyed, which I guess that makes sense, because who's going to staff them? But does seem like a massive waste to have this fucking giant structure and to remove it. It wasn't that good though. The whole expo was it was fine. And at the end of the night, the UK pavilion had a rooftop, and it was really cool. And there was supposed to be like a drone show. It got cancelled. I don't know why. Apparently it was cool. I missed it. But there was also like a water show, kind of like how Disney did it. You know, when we did an IRL stream with Mouse. In Disney, they have these big, massive water displays where like light reflects on the water being sprayed out. It's really cool. This one, not as cool. If you've seen the Disney one, this one kind of looks disappointing in comparison. And this is supposed to be like all the world leaders bringing their money together to make something epic. And then there was like, you know, it was just kind of like, so it wasn't that good. The overall expo was okay. I feel like it is just not that interesting. So I went into the UK booth. I think I went into like Azerbaijan and like Portugal. And it was just like, oh, and Italy. It was just, yeah, not that good. I just kind of felt like a lot of the things were like, look how good our country is. And maybe I'm just disillusioned with countries glazing themselves. But when a country's to tell you, like, look how good we are, you're like, eh. And the UK one was kind of sad too. I was like, ah, this kind of blows. Isn't that the point? I guess it's the point. But then I was kind of hoping it'd be more fun.
Originally built for being a centerpiece for the World Fair in
1889. I know, Emma.
It was going to be demolished after the fair was done. However, the French loved it so much they kept it. Now, did you go to the French booth?
I didn't. No, I wouldn't dare. Did you visit any Southeast Asia booths? I wanted to go to the Thailand one. I thought they were doing massages, but I didn't. I suppose a hit and miss. I don't know. So I went to the UK booth, and the UK booth was essentially like, you go in, and then this little fucking block character is like, well, the UK is super tanoshi and super interesting. And we made so many good things 200 years ago. And we haven't done much since. And then he would talk for like 10 hours about how that was the UK. And that was about it. And then we had to play a game where we had to press a button. And it was like, not very good. It was, yeah, not very good. UK booth gets shanked upon entry. Dude, oh man, look, I've met so many people in the government there now that I feel bad slandering it. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But then again, like, there was a post that went viral. There was a post that went viral about the UK booth in Japan. Oh god, so bad. Let me show you. So there was a post that so there's initial fiasco. Let me show you this. So there was a bit of a fiasco initially because the British booth offered afternoon tea. Now the problem was is that it wasn't very good. And you know, you're the British booth, you kind of have to do afternoon tea kind of goated. We kind of can't half-arse it. It's kind of our thing, you know? And so you had to pay 5,000 yen, which, to be fair, is low. It's very cheap for an afternoon tea in Japan. Afternoon tea in Japan is typically like 7,000, 8,000 yen. It's not a cheap endeavor. So you can see, you know, and my biggest gripe with it, and I think this is fair, is you cannot be serving afternoon tea in a paper cup. You just can't. You just, like, that's wrong on so many levels. And tea bags in the afternoon tea, like, the sandwiches look fine, the cakes look fine, but tea in a tea bag in a paper cup in afternoon tea, can't be doing that. So they did end up changing it, I believe, after the backlash, because on Twitter, I think in Japan it went viral. For you know, look, chat, the UK, we don't have a lot of money, okay? All right, it's been downhill for a long time. All right, we're struggling, okay? Why bag no good? So typically in afternoon tea, if you paid money for afternoon tea, you should get tea leaves. It should be like high quality tea leaves in a teapot. It's how it's meant to be done. It's you know, it's not good. So it's just like, it's the way it's meant to be done. And you are the UK government booth. You need to show that to people that we're good at this afternoon tea, because I think afternoon tea sucks in Japan. There's some good ones, but a lot of them are not very good, and it's very popular in Japan. They really like afternoon tea in Japan, but I often find that they don't do it very well. The teas are often quite good, but I feel like the snack selection is pretty poor. So I feel like, especially Japan, people would be very eager to try that. So it is a bit of a shame. Would rather pay 7k for good taste. I mean, some of the afternoon teas in Japan can cost you like £60, $70. Yeah, there's a lot of very expensive ones.